Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be checking out the demo for Roadwarden. This is a cool little text-based RPG I found that I think would be neat to check out. I think the game actually released today, but this is the demo, so I just wanted to check it out. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young or retire early. It's a dangerous job but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls. Interesting, so they're kind of just like someone that takes care of everything that needs to be done kind of outside. So do we live in a world... I guess we live in a world where outside the walls is even more dangerous than, you know, normal. Like, I wonder what kind of monsters and creatures are outside. Because why is humanity stuck behind walls for the most part? The wall is still standing. I mean, it just said there were, like, monsters and stuff, but I wonder what kind. Like, how dangerous we talking? The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices. No sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. Maybe you may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beastfolk, nor trolls, and the night is near. Your pale free breathes heavily. It had a long day. Ah, okay, so yeah, we got like goblins, trolls, all that kind of stuff. Okay. No wolves around. Need to look around cautiously. Dismount, sneak to the gate. Let's sneak to the gate. Okay, take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. 3 out of 4 vitality, and 30 minutes before dusk. Now imagine if we're caught outside at night. Yeah, things get more dangerous. Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your backs and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. Approach the gate. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. They don't look like much of a threat. I mean, I don't know how this world works yet, but they don't look like much of a threat. Takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. Take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. Let's not let them speak first. Ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Be supportive and cordial. Use a joke or a witty comment. Hide your emotions, hint at a threat, or be sad, tired, afraid, or hopeless. Interesting. Well, with them, I think friendly or playful is probably, the best call here, although I think they're gonna want me to be friendly. They don't seem like they have time for my shit, so... I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? Woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. Most definitely can, you and I, though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. Reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. Maybe a trap. I gesture for her to stop, pretending to be embarrassed. Ooh, I didn't mean to click there. I should wash myself first, but you can call me. Let's shake hands. I keep accidentally pressing right click, sorry. How do you want people to call you? Leto? Sure. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky. As heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. Interesting. I wonder if we can lose our horse some way, and then the game is just now on hard mode. So yeah, horses aren't native here. We're brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. Interesting. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck, with strength and confidence just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. Wow, yeah, everyone here is very paranoid in this world. This world must be very rough. I speak to it gently and lead it to camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. Wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. Need to unpack. You said you should look for an inn. I don't think they have an inn here, unless you're talking about going to a different place. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Crimson Corpse Eaters. First of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Interesting. So, Crimson Corpse Eaters, it feels like we're living in Super Witcher World. Like, the Witcher world itself is already incredibly dangerous with all the monsters around. But, like, normal people don't even, like, leave the walls usually, is like, oh my god. Things must be really rough here. And also, shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Is dragon bone the name of the currency, or are you actually trading dragon bones? So, aside from your travel, your trade, so spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Huh. I have talismans to help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and worn gambeson. I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, worn gambeson, and a healing potion. I want to learn more about the three classes. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges, thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes, what opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. The fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using a mage's powers too freely will result in having no Pneuma left when you need it the most. The scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. Scholar sounds like an interesting way to play this game, because it makes sense we would know more about the world than everyone else. We're the ones actually traveling it. I'd like to play as a scholar. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, just in case. You take a... Ooh, I don't want to open my inventory. Okay, it says open my inventory, so let's... Maybe it just wants to tutorialize me. Food rations. Yeah, makes sense. Spoil slowly and don't require cooking. A fresh healing potion. A pouch with coins. The city artisans make coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. Yeah, okay, interesting. They are valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. Gambison. Cheapest type of armor, yet effective. For new potions, you need to find suitable tools and some undisturbed time. Brewing is difficult and your alchemical skills, while humble, are valuable. Sack contains all sorts of useful tools. Parchment scrolls kept in tubes, inks, quills, and wax tablets with a bone stylus. Most northerners are illiterate, but they are happy to meet someone who can write a letter. And a simple battle axe. Traveling with an axe shows you've learned to fight humans and human-sized monsters. It's not masterfully made. It's already been put to the test, and you've practiced with it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, your water skin isn't pierced. Just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. And taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Interesting. So we have vitality, but we also have an armor stat. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of the wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. Join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tulia what she can tell me about this area. Completely ignore the meal, I sit down and speak to Tulia. Let's join them and take a look at the meal. It's cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. And there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. You can find supplies in the inventory. Okay. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, then speak with Tulia. She's focused and carefully chooses her words. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. Afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, less than I should. She nods toward the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. Beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Wow, you lost 5 and 1 ran away, so that's what you're talking about with your new position and everything. So that's how you got lieutenant. And a piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs nervously shake. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom, his untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. Ugh. Though the officials tell you, I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. Tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Havlavan to keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. Lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? What should I know about the peninsula? Tell you what I know and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. You know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly steer a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. Nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore. They don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. She pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp. When we travel to the roadside inn, Pell to the north, they're happy to trade, and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? Man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road, this camp to our post. Well, he turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Leto, but are you a devout soul? Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm a part of the United Church. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. From a small village, for me the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd call me a pagan. No evidence of the rite's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Probably gonna go for this one. No evidence of the rite's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. I mean, not against anyone that does believe in these things, but yeah. The man nods. I heard that most Roadwardens drift away from the churches. Doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think, adds the lieutenant, peeping at her companion. I just want to make sure I won't step on any touchy subject. You won't, go ahead. Yeah. Makes sense, especially in a world like this that seems so incredibly awful that people would want religion to help feel comfort and everything, so... People here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here she starts to draw lines with her index finger as if she's pointing at an invisible map. Peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think so. Even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. Whoops. You nod. She means a fellowship. Yeah, so we just learned about that. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. Oh. So yeah, pagan is... If we had been a pagan, or you're in a fellowship or pagan, you might not have liked us. They use necromancy to have them do labor. Interesting. I see. I've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Yeah, United Church, I'm sure you're selling condolences and taking advantage of some of your members and everything, so... You know. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'd be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. Man in a shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tilia nods. Pell to the north is a safe place. Talk with the innkeeper of the guards. Ask him about the road. How about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? Saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats, large and small. Ooh, kitties! Runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, Mouflon eaters, griffins, my god. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though Pelfrey should be fine, the trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. Soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast, just count on luck. I do want to get in at least one fight before I end this video off. That's all I need to know. I just wanted to take a quick look at it because I was interested in this, so... I've lost my robe. Could you spare one? How'd you become lieutenant? So normally, if I was doing a full LP of this game... Oh, I can't actually continue until I ask all of these things. Oh. Okay, I was about to say normally if I was doing a full LP I would go through all of these, but... I want to see if I can get the combat, but it looks like we have to ask him anyway. He won't let me continue. Oh, but it's saying before I continue my journey I need to ask them about the rope. So I could ask about the rope and then we could continue. And we gotta ask about the previous Roadwarden, so let's just ask these two. Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. Soldiers speak for a bit amongst themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that they had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. Oops, I accidentally hit my mic there. Bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. Don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave it on. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him on this Saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating Saurians as their mount. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Interesting. Use Saurians. I'm guessing this is like a giant lizard, basically? Some kind of reptile. I mean, it seems like they hatch giant four-legged meat-eating Saurians. Easily... Yeah, it says teeth too, so I'm guessing it's... I mean, it's... Saurian, it makes me think of like a dinosaur, so... Yeah, I'm imagining this is some kind of giant lizard. Like a velociraptor or something. That sounds pretty awesome. You know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We almost took a look at Asterion stuff. Wait, she raises her open palm, I almost forgot. Stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Havlaven. I was planning to take all his things there, a pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure, she glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. You want me to find what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch, she dusts off the hilt of her sword. I've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Havlaven together. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. Think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Havlaven in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'll spare you anything, and who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears a mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout, long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. To find out what happened to him, dead, alive, left, just let me know. I've lost my rope, could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down in her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. A fine rope, a regular rope made of hemp fibers. Buy. For 0, or I take it and offer some food in return. Sure, we can be nice. Mia leans forward and rests her forearms on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands to meet your eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our growths looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's not a bad spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. For now, you leave the rope on the table. Alright, so let's go ahead and leave now. Like I said, normally I would go through all of these things, but I want to get to some combat and see what that's like. I know everything I need. Are you sure, says the bearded man? We may not be around the next time you come here. We should prepare for the night anyway. I agree, Telia sighs with relief. May you do better than Mysterian did. Stay vigilant, she winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. One more thing, if I can, the bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Splitting time between 3 people makes a great difference. You think for a moment, to fully rest, you'd need a good sleep. Yeah, I mean, sure, leave it to me. I'm only missing 1 vitality, right? Fabulous, he pats your shoulder. Should be calm at least before midnight. Wake me up in a few hours or even earlier if anything happens. Happy to do my part. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, what makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath after the night. It'll only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare. Ooh, appearance. You don't stand out from the crowd. You won't get much cleaner without a proper bath. So yeah, my appearance helps with me, like, influencing people. Soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. Point to the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes looking for shelter, better call for us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. The best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? I don't see a watchtower anywhere here. Gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here. He points to the pile of crates. Just climb up the tallest one. Oh. Right there. Interesting. You'll have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. Points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours sleeping on the ground. You wish, go there after me and rest just this once. At least I have a paladin side. Thanks a lot. Put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm. The sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time your back aches. You force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point the 3-horned deer is trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. Furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides slowly walk away, not willing to risk the fight or to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. I hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully you never have to intervene, you just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. Confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. Use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but a much welcomed rest. Pallet keeps the cold soil away. Moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. Focus on the real goal of my journey. Alright, explore the peninsula. Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavlan, officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time, 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Havlavlan. There, they'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Sounds like the city's trying to like basically colonize this area, but they're too scared to do it themselves, so they sent me out here. Alright. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Avlavlin. There, you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal. Extra coins. You get some extra coins so I can retire early. Gather enough connections among the local leaders. I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. Want to be remembered as a soul who brought peace and order, a hero. Just want to help people, make this region safer for locals and newcomers alike. I like this one. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious. Can travel during the night, press the sleep button to rest. Though the pleasant, humid late summer air slowly evens it out, you're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. Sleeping in a tent. You can sleep the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain, and the ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. So it seems like I get no vitality. I get... I lose some hunger, and I get... Oh wait, no, I get vitality. Okay, wait. The heart wasn't filled in, so I didn't think I was getting any. But no, I get health, lose nourishment, and lose appearance. So let's go ahead and do it. So, sleep. But yeah, it wasn't filled in, so I was like, oh, but no, that's just the icon they use. You're woken by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning rotten meat. Disgust slowly crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is nervously looking around. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. Go outside and see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Julia is the first one to address you. Leto, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. See a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. Burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. Traveler and undead? The latter, a young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even roadwardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Talia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Interesting, so... yeah, when people die, they're... like, basically everyone turns into a zombie after they die. And they get stronger by eating humans and spending time in fog. Time for me to leave. Running away from the Reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. Wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. Use the travel button to see the map and move to another area. You somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. Put on your gambeson, make sure your axe is tightly attached to your belt, then get in the saddle. Palfrey knickers, ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia to return to Avlavlin. Okay. So we travel. Finally hitting the world map here. This is a very cool game. I really like games like this where you kind of like make your own adventure out of it and stuff. Like I said, the game just came out. I think it's like on sale right now for like $10. Seems pretty cool. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Consider my options. Scholar's Education to unlock unique interactions. Interesting. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible and why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do and time may be of the essence. On occasion, you can use the Scholar's Education to unlock more unique interactions. Let's do that. I mix black powder with gladden that grows nearby and the dried skunk sorrel from my bag. Once I ignite it and throw it at the griffins, they'll scatter. Interesting. And the dice icon means that those actions involve a random chance. Yeah, that makes sense. You can learn more about your abilities in the character sheet. Most city folk feel aversion toward black powder, and you touch it with great care. The odor of the plants makes you dizzy. What's more important is that the griffins have wolf-like sensitivity to smells and noises. Few of the beasts turn their heads towards you as you approach the pack with a bag in your hand. You ignite your missile and throw it forward. At first, the creatures surround the source of smoke and then growl in disgust, even putting their beaks to the ground. They flee, allowing you to continue your journey. That's neat, because yeah, because I know like what they don't like and what they're weak to, for lack of a better term, that helps me out there. Climb on the horse and cover my nose. Really need to find a proper alchemy set. Okay, neato, neato. Check your achievements as the journey unfolds. Will do. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? Signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. That sounds like we should go to the inn. Look at my horse. What's his name? Sodal, sure. Sodal is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple steps forward. Spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Alright. I mean, let's explore to the east. I'm interested. Curvy road, east is overgrown. Sodal trots when it has a chance, but more often it walks, forced to jump over larger branches blocking the path. Nearby lake is surrounded by thirsty wildlife. I observe the dark forest, ready to react if something jumps at me. What is this? A couple of stone slabs were turned into a hut-like shape. It's a chapel. One of the ancient chapels raised by the priests of the United Church. In the days, a few soldiers and even fewer shelters. The dolmens proved to be especially durable, though the conditions they offered were harsh. The entrance is barely wide enough to let you walk inside. It was meant to keep larger beasts away, including your palefrey. You can't spend the night here. You dismount and look around. I approach the hourglass carved into stone. It's the most common religious sign of the city folk. Adapted by the United Church Orders of Truth in the majority of fellowships. Used in temples and during the funeral rites, but also to decorate codices or jewelry. The winged hourglasses portray the ephemerality of life and the rigidity of time. When possible, they're made of steel, signifying the strength of humankind's determination and innovation. I'm not a pious soul. As I'm standing in front of the hourglass, I feel nothing. Sodal is listening carefully to the leaves. Enter the chapel? Beams of light get through the gaps between the rocks, but you hardly see anything. A torch would fill the place with smoke, but a candle will suffice. Wonder how many travelers are sitting on the cold rock, nervously observing the entrance and fighting with their heavy eyelids. Yeah, that must be horrifying. Let's look around. What are you looking for or paying attention to? Example door... Interesting! Very interesting. What's that? Stone? Even though part of the ground is covered with a single massive slab, there are parts free of any flooring. You see soil, small rocks, sand, and one spot you find the remains of charred wood. Interesting, okay. So you do have to actually type in what you want to look at. Is it like bed? You either don't find it or I can't understand you. Wood? Where the floor is littered with the remains of an old campfire, not more than a couple of months old. You see dust, burnt bones, and wood. The wall above the spot is covered with soot. So... Can I just say, like, look around? Okay, yeah, no. You can't just look around. Because I wanted a better idea of what stuff's actually in here. It seems like it's mostly the campfire and this. Slab? Yeah, I guess there's not much more in here. Maybe you can look at the walls? They're all around you. I was like, well, I don't know, curious if there was something on the walls. Floor? Yeah, so it's just, okay. We found an old campfire. Go outside. Alrighty. Well, we kind of had like a little combat encounter, and this video is getting a little bit long. I do need to do some other things today, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end this off here, but this is very, very cool. Definitely interested in these kinds of games, you know, and this world is very, very interesting. I feel like a Witcher, basically, and everything, so it's cool. Really, really into this. I'll put the link to the game in the description if you want to try it out yourself. Like I said, it did release today, I believe, so hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for something else.